And because not all members have read the judgment, allow me to read 3 paragraphs so that people are in tandem. Paragraph 504. We thus hold and find that the simultaneous holding of the position of Speaker with that of the leader of political party and the leadership positions in the ruling political coalition, as in the case with the current National Assembly, and the concluding part is this dual role is therefore unlawful and unconstitutional. Mr. Speaker, that is paragraph 504. They continue in 505. We hold that the Speaker was elected in accordance with Article 106 of the Standing Orders. The fact that he was a party leader at the time of his election could not invalidate his election. However, for the reasons we have given, his position as the leader of Ford Kenya or the leader of any other political office, for that matter, became untenable and inconsequential the moment he assumed the office of the Speaker of the National Assembly. He could not, and he has no capacity to perform any other functions as a leader of a political party or a political organ as long as he is the Speaker of the National Assembly. I've referred to 2 paragraphs, 504 and 505. That is on the whether the court expressly found the 2 offices untenable. And I will be making a concession separately. Now, 508, and this is important because I think we are debating in ignorance, Mr. Speaker. 508, it is hereby declared that the question as to which party or coalition of parties is a majority in the National Assembly in the 13th Parliament was determined by the sovereign will of the Kenyan voters during the 9th August 2022 general election. It continues, Roman 2, it is hereby declared that the Honorable Speaker's ruling on determination contained in his communication of 6th October is null and void. Roman 3, it is hereby declared that the Honorable Speaker's ruling on determination, blah, 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 on the minority, again, is null and void. And finally, an order of certiorari is hereby issued quashing the Speaker's ruling. Let me now make my submission, Mr. Speaker. First of all, this matter did not go to court in vain. The contestation, Mr. Speaker, was your considered ruling of 6th of October. Once that ruling is quashed, you cannot then, Mr. Speaker, with due respect, come and say that no decision has been made. The consequences are 2. 1, the leader of minority becomes the leader of majority by operation of law, even if you do nothing else. But in this case, we have gone further. And under Standing Order 19A, Standing Order 3, it...
I'll add you 1 minute. 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, under 19A, it's very clear. The majority party whip shall communicate the name of the members elected under paragraph 1 to the Speaker in writing. And that was already done by the Honorable Millie Mabona. That settles that case. Mr. Speaker, the only way we can start debating whether this decision quashes and changes the position of majority and minority is if we want to practice impunity. Mr. Speaker, and I agree with the observations, it is not in this forum to question the reasoning in the judgment. That must be questioned elsewhere. The only issue is it the finding of the court? And it is. And if we are to be a country that practices the rule of law, let it be appealed. But until then, let it be implemented. Let the Honorable Junaid Mohammed be the majority leader. And it does not matter whether you are in government or not, because we are not debating who's in government and who's not. We are not debating the reasoning. Mr. Speaker, we are not even debating your election because we all participated. Some of us who are not in the other party still voted for you. So,
Milemba. Order, Wanjala.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order, Wanjala. It suffices to mention that the Senior Counsel has also read the judgment very selectively. Very selectively. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And I think this judgment is good, and I want to ask members to exercise restraint the way we are doing as we deal with it, because it will grow our own standing orders and decisions that have been taken by this Parliament before, just like when we had the stalemate on who should lead the House Business Committee, and the Honorable Marende made the ruling that has been talked about. Honorable Speaker, In the judgment, which I've also read about 508 paragraphs, I want to spot out one, and which I think the senior counsel did speak on. And that's the one that says that the question as to which the party or coalition of a party is a majority party was determined by the sovereign will of the people on the 9th August 2022. That is as it goes. Honorable Speaker, this statement and these paragraphs presumes that Parliament will stay static and there will be no changes in Parliament as at the time when the elections was done. The truth is that if we were to follow this, it would mean that majority party would remain majority party for 5 years as determined at the time of the general elections. That is not correct. Majority and minority parties are fluid situation that keeps on changing, depending on many happenings within Parliament. We know of the by-elections that are forthcoming in some of the constituencies. We have 4 constituencies which you can name, Benisa, Ugenya, and others which lost or don't have members of Parliament. What are the kind of results that will come out of that situation? Will it not numerically affect the majority and minority leadership in the House? Those are issues that I want you, Honorable Speaker, to determine. It also assumes that there are no post-election agreements which can be done. When you go to Schedule 3 of the political parties, it talks about how coalitions can be entered. You can get out of coalitions, and it determines how they can be done in law. If all those changes have happened, then we cannot be static and say that it is static for 5 years. And therefore, one other reason, Honorable Speaker and members, why the court did not go to the extent of determining is because there are 3 arms of government. They have the legislature, we have Parliament, and we have the judiciary. And the Parliament is independent, honorable members. Let's not allow that we shall be told what to do. Here, this must be done by the rules and order of Parliament, which is our own standing orders. And that is why, Honorable Speaker, you have to make a ruling on this, on which political party, as of now, give me some more time, is the majority in the House. This is not a static position. It's a fluid position that keeps on changing. Let me refer to governments like governments in Germany, Israel, very good examples. Currently, the Prime Minister of Canada is going to resign. Why? Because he has lost some of the coalition parties that were around him. Once he loses them, he's no longer the leader. And therefore, we have to rearrange Parliament. Thank you, and I submit.